So this is important, and this is what I want to talk about. All right. So I kind of got some notes and stuff. You see all this stuff on me? I don't know. It's because I'm chewing gum. Anyway, I'm not about to start this video over again. So, all right. So what I want to talk about is pressure and stress. All right. Because a lot of times, a lot of us get stressed out over pressure. But I don't think we realize that the greater the responsibility, the more the pressure. All right. Or let me say it this way. The bigger the blessing, the more the pressure. All right. So you're going to always feel like, oh, I have to do this, or I have to do that, or this has to happen, or you're going to feel so many different things. And I know, like, for me, that's how I am. Like, I always would feel like, can I handle this? Can I do that? Can I handle? I'm seeing all this stuff on me. I'm sorry, y'all. That's so unprofessional, but I ain't about to do this video over again. So you just have to, in the midst of feeling like there's pressure, in the midst of feeling like you're stressed out, you have to really kind of pull yourself back and find your space. So I was just talking to a client, and I was telling them, you have to really work towards getting to your God space. You have to work towards getting to that space where you allow God to fill you up versus being in your own space. So you have your space, then you have spirit space, then you have God space. And I feel like that's what we're all working towards. We're all working towards finding that God space within ourselves, but also within our life. All right, so your space is that worry. Oh my God, I'm scared. I'm panicking. I don't know. Can I handle this? Da, 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 da. It's that space where we begin to make a lot of excuses for the things we feel like we don't have, or it's the space where we're looking at our life and we're feeling like, well, I don't have this. I don't have that. How am I going to get it? Then you go to the spirit space, and that's when you get more stuff like, I'm a spiritual being living a human experience. But then you start to worry because it's like, oh my God, but still, how am I going to do this? How am I going to live my life and pay my bills and do these things and make it happen and be spiritual. Then you have God's space, which reminds me of, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And it's not just about that quote coming, from the Bible, but it's about knowing that there is a higher being, there is a higher energy that oversees everything that's going on in your life. Regardless of what you believe, you are born with and for a purpose. But you have to trust in that purpose, and you have to trust in that higher aspect of yourself. I just read a quote this morning. Now I have to find it. I just read a quote this morning that said, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. And I think risk is God, because a lot of times we want to know how things are going to work and if it's going to work before we actually do it. But when it comes to God, you don't know, because it really is an experience, So when you have pressure and stress, and when you're stressing yourself out about things that you really can't control, sometimes I think stress comes from a lack of trust of something greater or something higher when it comes to your potential or your life. But it comes from really stressing about things that you really have no control over whatsoever. So you have to really get to a place where you can sit and say, what I can't control, I'm not even going to let it affect me. Okay, there's a certain bill that needs to be paid. I don't have the money to pay for it. Okay, so then why should I stress out about it? I'm going to pray. I'm going to ask God, okay, God, I need you to work this out for me. And I will still do the work to get it paid for, but I'm not going to stress about it. So I'm going to pray to God, and I'm going to listen so that my steps can be ordered, so that I can receive the guidance to move in accordance with what needs to be done. All right. Because, a lot of us put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and I do it all the time. When I think about my business, when I think about my life, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be better. You got to do this. You got to whatever. That's not God. That's me. And for me, I'm the type that I always want to challenge myself to be better. I always want to learn something new. I always want to do better than I did the day before, the year before. So I'm learning within and for myself that it's not necessary to stress yourself out over things that you can't control. But the things that you can control, you have to really prioritize. You have to make a plan. You have to do what needs to be done to get you where you want to be. And the only way you can do that is through prioritizing. It's through making it happen. You know, you can't just pray about it and then don't do nothing with what you just prayed for. And sometimes when you pray about it, the thing that you have to do is you have to sit and listen first so you can receive that inspiration on how to move or proceed forward. You know, sometimes you pray about it and you just have to start. You know, so there's not a one formula or one thing that works for everybody, because we all have what works for us. But the thing about it is that that's on the inside of us. It's not on the outside of us. You know, we see so many things. We're bombarded with so much stuff. You know, in the morning time, I could feel awesome. But then as soon as I open up my Facebook account or open up my email, I'm like, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do this. And I start stressing myself out because I feel the pressure. And then the underlining thing, if I don't feel like I can accomplish it, it's only going to make me stress so much more. Then now I tell myself, you know what I can do, I'm going to do it. What I can't do, I guess it's not going to happen at that time. When it can happen and when I can do it, I'm going to make it happen. And I'm going to do it the way that it's supposed to be done. So just understand, you know, there's a difference between pressure and stress, but a lot of times pressure does equal stress, or stress can equal pressure. But you have the power to balance it out. You have the power to say, you know what, my plate may be full right now, but maybe there are some things that I don't need to eat right now. Maybe there are some things that I don't need to do right now. And you start taking them off so that you can accomplish what you need to accomplish to fulfill what you need to do in this moment. Okay?